awful circumstances the state of Florida is facing right now. Sunday's Bucs-Dolphins game will not be played in Miami as scheduled due to the potential impact of Hurricane Irma on South Florida. That game was scheduled for 1 Eastern at Hard Rock Stadium. It will not be played in Miami on Sunday, the NFL announced. And that's all we know right now. We don't know whether it's going to be rescheduled, played at a neutral site. We also know that Irma had strengthened to a Category 5 hurricane as of Tuesday morning. Let's bring in NFL insider Jeff Darlington, who is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Jeff, best to you and your family. You obviously make a home in Florida. What's the latest in terms of what you're hearing on how the league will respond to this storm?
Well, we've got a tricky one here, Michael, and it all does have to do with timing. Right now, the league is looking at this situation, and they know they're not playing the game at Hard Rock Stadium on Sunday. They haven't yet made a full decision on whether it will be played at a neutral site on Sunday or later in the season. Now, I am told by sources that they are potentially leaning toward a Week 11 game when the Bucs and the Dolphins both would have a bye. Of course, that would eliminate both teams' bye week. That's why they are considering other options with the neutral site. But we should point out that the league currently does deem it unfair right now to play the game in Miami, whether it be Thursday or Sunday, and that is because of a couple reasons. First of all, the governor has declared a state of emergency. The mayor in Miami has declared level 1 readiness, and I can explain a little bit about what that means. It essentially means that police have put into what's called Alpha Bravo mode, and that means that they're on 12-hour shifts now. The league basically says there's no reason for us to take away resources from what is clearly a state of emergency to go ahead and try to play a football game. Now, the football side of things, they certainly would like to play this game and have their bye week, but we're talking about a very serious situation with a lot of potential impacts, a lot of logistics being considered. The league has not made that formal decision yet. I would anticipate it being formalized by tomorrow morning. That's when we'll know whether it will be a neutral site or, in fact, later in the season. Michael.
All right, so UCF in Orlando has changed this game against Memphis to Friday night. Florida is monitoring the situation, and Oregon State may also move games. Just want to follow something up real quick with you, Jeff. You said that they're leaning toward using that Week 11 bye, which both teams share. How terrified, for lack of a better phrase, and this is the best of bad options that they're trying to choose from, how terrified are your sources at the prospect of these two teams playing 16 consecutive games this season, 16 consecutive weeks, excuse me?
I don't know. The people that I've heard from aren't from Florida. They haven't been here for a hurricane, so I have a tough time really rationalizing their opinion with what's happening right now. I can tell you that I just spent several days in Houston, and if we have already forgotten what happened there, and we're looking at a stronger storm currently in the Atlantic Ocean, and we're worried about player safety, talking about a 16-game season, perhaps it's about time to maybe focus on the hurricane and the storm. Putting opinions aside, though, Michael, certainly I understand the focus that a football team has as they're entering week 1 of a season. I just also would point to some of the logistics involved right now. We're talking about families that would have to figure out their evacuation plan while these teams are preparing to potentially play a game. I can tell you it's no easy task. I'm about to go put up hurricane shutters myself right now. I got my family on a plane this morning so that I could do just that, and I don't have a football game to focus on. So quite frankly, I don't necessarily agree with the opinion of the players, Michael. I think that we should be focusing on the bigger distraction, which is the massive hurricane in the Atlantic Ocean right now.
Well put, Jeff. All the best to you and your family. Stay safe. We'll be thinking about you. Thanks for joining us. And if you haven't seen Jeff sit down in his piece with J.J. Watt in Houston, definitely check it out on ESPN.com.